nephew, and she asked him if he remembered John. He says, yeah, he never gave me my nose back.
There's a lot of unfortunate people like that.
A lot of noseless
anyway,
people.
I'm the ghost. You ready?
Yep.
I'm the ghost of John Soncrant, and I've been resting comfortably. Be assured that my soul is in a great and wonderful place, surrounded by wonderful people. The communication system here is fantastic. It's free and instant, and everyone is linked to the internet that never goes down. The best part is all I have to do is think about something, and instantly everyone's got it. I don't have to charge a phone. I don't have to worry about breaking it. The downside is that everyone here already knows all of my jokes. My transitioning soul is slowly adapting to the new system, and I'm getting better at it. I am so happy that you all came today. So if you could laugh, chuckle, or even groan at least one of my 10 jokes to follow, I'll remain eternally grateful. I will also give you a hand with transitioning after meeting at the gate, St. Peter. But first, pick a candy and hold it as we talk, but it's too late, they're gone. So, I so loved and miss sharing, or at least tempting everyone who visited our dive store over the years. Okay, here we go. Number one, do you know why the blonde was fired from the M&M factory? Because she kept throwing all the W's away. 2, why couldn't the shrimp share his treasure? Because he was shellfish. That's good, I hear them. Why were the teacher's eyes crossed? Because he couldn't control his pupils. Why don't cats play poker in the jungle? Because there's too many cheetahs. 5, why don't elephants use computers? They're afraid of the mouse. 6, I didn't think orthopedic shoes would help, but I stand corrected. Why don't blondes like making Kool-Aid? Anyone?
Too complicated?
They can't fit 8 cups of water in the little packet. And number 8, blunt pencils are pointless. Thanks, I feel so much better hearing you laugh. And thanks for coming today. I'm honored that you wish to hear a few stories about me and my family and our lives here in Union City. I thought some of doing it a little differently. I've seen a few of the acts before and considered presenting it as an opera. And that made me think back to the days when the Wesleyan Church had a choir. That's some time ago. One evening, we met for practice and a quiet young woman showed up, and it was her first time. We were always short of hymnals and needed to share them, so I tried to put her at ease by starting a conversation, and I jokingly asked her, "Do you think this hymnal has any tenor notes?" She shot right back, "It really doesn't matter, John. You can't sing them anyway." So folks, opera today. Though I love my life in Union City, I wasn't born here. I was born to Martha and Milton Soncrant in Toledo, Ohio. I had an older sister, Barbara. Mom and Dad split up, and my path here went through Indiana, Ohio, and then we moved to Brunson for a while, and then settled in Coldwater, where I graduated from high school. While there, I tried out for the football team, and by an amazing chance of luck, got to play for the legendary coach Floyd Eby, who I feel is still the most winning and most beloved coach in Coldwater's history. In my mind, at least, I thought I was a skillful player. However, I didn't seem to get as much game time as I thought I deserved. Consequently, I devised a plan with a group of my friends that were in the stands to loudly chant, "We want Soncrant! We want Soncrant!" And which they did. Coach Evie snarled out, "Soncrant!" To which I reacted by grabbing my helmet and rushing over to his side and eagerly said, "I'm ready, Coach." He answered, "Go see what the heck those guys want." When I got back, he waved me to my seat, and if I remember it right, I didn't get to play for the next 2 games. Number 9. Why wouldn't the bicycle stand up by itself?
It was too tired.
It was too tired. She gets it up again. Oh, that's wonderful. When the Korean conflict was, oh wait a minute, I skipped. Okay, I got a job as a stock boy at Hensley's Triplet store in Coldwater. That was a 5 and dime, and I really don't know why they called it the Triplet store. Maybe because it was a bunch of insignificant things. I don't know. Anybody got an idea? But anyway, after working there for quite a while, I started thinking I would quit and find a better paying job. One day after writing a letter of resignation, I went to work, but rather than turn my letter in first thing, I decided to clean the basement first. I did a bang-up job of it too, taking my time while working up the courage to turn in my letter. I didn't want to disappoint Mr. Hensley or his wife, who had been so good to me. When I turned it in, Mr. Hensley carefully read it, and he asked me to stay. So I stayed. The Hensleys came to several of my football games and took an increasing interest in me. After I graduated, they moved me to Union City to head up the store, where I ended up staying for 62 years. When the Korean conflict broke out, I joined the Army. I got lucky and never made it to Korea, but did make it as far as Japan. But they weren't fighting. While I was gone, Mrs. Barker, who was the pastor's wife at the Wesleyan Church, took over my job at the store until I returned. And when I came back, I was so happy to be here and felt that the Lord had protected me from my own foolishness. Or just protected me. But deeply moved, I accepted Christ as my Savior, which changed my life forever and for the better. I married Myrna Mauer, and we had 4 children. Liz was the first. Her grandpa called her Ike. Maybe because she was in charge. I don't know. A few years after Sharon was born, she started calling her the nice sister. But I referred to Liz as my favorite firstborn son. Debbie was the second-born, and Sharon tagged her as the fun-born. And she was. Steve was the third-born and was my first and only real son. He was nicknamed Spider for his wrestling abilities. He was really good. He was very smart too. We all were, but he made the top 10 academically and the National Honor Society. Sharon was the last born, but her name was a second choice, as we had expected a son and had picked out the name Philip Andrew. So please say hi to Philip. Sharon at some point picked out her own nickname, calling herself the bossy sister. But with a positive spin, she said, "I'm the one that gets things done." When she was a baby, I called her Baby Babusi. Regardless of gender or nicknames, my children all contributed mightily to my education, and they expanded my world, filling it with love and grace. Of all my accomplishments, I'm most proud of them. In fact, after one of my grandchildren told a particularly corny joke to me and one of my good friends, the friend turned to me and told me, "Your kids And grandkids don't really have a choice, do they? They get bad jokes from the environment and heredity. We both laugh. Okay, number 10. This is the last one. Let's see if anybody can get this. Why don't seagulls live by the day?
Because they're not bagels.
Gosh.
She gets a handful. About this time of my life, I began doing a short skit of Union City's special place in the universe, which I'll now try to demonstrate to you. First, I would turn north, and I'd point to the north, and I'd look over in both directions, and then bring my hand down and point at my toe. Then I would turn to the south, and I would do the same. Look at the beauty of the trees and the grave sites of all the wonderful people that have already died, but were good. Then I turned to the west, and I did the same thing, ending up pointing at my toes, still looking at what God had created. Then I turned around, again, looking at the beauty, everything that was in it, and seeing where it ended. And then I thought of all the wonderful people that were here, and suddenly, one day it came to me that God had placed me here. And so, if you look in the middle of all the places I pointed, I'm in the middle of where north, south, and west, and east meet. By definition, isn't that the center? And if that isn't proof enough, consider that Union City has a zip code 49094. And it reads forwards and backwards. And if that isn't enough, I have a friend who has a phone number 741-7147. That reads the forward and backward too. So, is that a coincidence? I think not. I tried my best to be a good man, and like all men, I fail each day, but I prayed for forgiveness and tried to do better the next day. To that end, I also served on the Village Council, the Betterment Association, the Chamber of Commerce. I was a long-term member of the American Legion. I was a member of the Wesleyan Church, and I served on its board. I was a Sunday school superintendent and a Sunday school teacher and a bus driver. I also joined the Gideon's mission, and Coach Eby oversaw the Coldwater camp at the same time, and we both enjoyed passing out copies of God's Word. I was also a member of the Union City Rotary Club. They had a system of fines that they enforced for missing meetings or arriving late. This was a fundraiser. I don't remember, weren't the fines 50 cents or 25 cents? But for me, they added a new rule. A fine for telling a corny joke. I told at least one a week. I think I might have received more fines in Union City than anyone else ever. In fact, the other members of the club started referring to me because I was always late or tardy or missing. They called me the late John Soncrant many years before I died. If your kids or grandkids got their names in the paper, you were also fined. I secretly enjoyed paying my fines. Someone once wrote, "Be yourself, the world will adjust." I did my best. I read the Bible most days, and I prayed daily. I was surprised but proud to be named Citizen of the Year in Union City, and I was the Paul Harris election chosen by the Rotary. I enjoyed my time doing good things with and for the people of Union City. In my time, Union City went through some tough times too. One that I remember vividly was when the trailer park closed. For a couple of years, I went home late from the stores on several Christmas Eves, delaying Christmas festivities for my kids to be out with their grandmother. This occurred as fathers laid off by the factory's closings that had no money to buy gifts for the children came in about closing time, asking if they could get a few things and they helped them with their choices, and so was late in picking up my family. However, I was later rewarded many times over when my customers returned weeks and months later to say, and thank us for our help. It turned out to be a wonderful blessing to all of us. So I hope that you here today can also see Union City as the center of the universe, and you will work hard to befriend and help others that live in your place and time.